It's December 2nd, it's 4 o'clock. We'd like to open the Civil Service Commission meeting. Would you mind taking the roll?
I will. Chair Cantrell,
Present.
Vice Chair McLaughlin. Present. Commissioner Paul,
Here.
Commissioner Tilka, Commissioner Hoff,
Here.
all are present.
There we go. Would anybody like to provide public comment before we begin? I don't see anybody. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the approval of minutes. Do we appoint the chair first before we do that, or we do the approval of minutes first?
You do the minutes first.
Okay. I'd like to review so let's proceed with approval of minutes, please.
And each of you, even the new one, was given an opportunity to read the minutes and our videos online, and so you still vote even if you're new.
Ms. Van Blarken, I don't know if I gave it to you, or it was in the last packet, but I didn't see it. Did that Madeira Beach, where we had discussed I asked you to put in the commission, the Board of Commissioners, to discuss that. I had a document that went along with that, and I didn't see it in there, but I don't know if I
didn't
asked you
see
to
the
put it in
document.
there.
No.
So it could be me.
Yeah, I didn't see the
Okay,
document.
all right,
I
not a problem.
apologize for
All
that.
right. Thank you.
Are we ready for a motion? I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes.
Second.
Commissioner Tilka? Commissioner Paul?
Yes.
Commissioner Hoff?
Yes.
Vice Chair McLaughlin?
Yes.
Chair Cantrell?
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Let's proceed with the HR report. You ready, Ms. Powers? And Merry Christmas to you.
I am, thank you. We have a few open positions, just a few. We're still looking for a building official. We are working with the recruitment firm, but we are focusing on the city manager first. So hopefully we can get a better candidate pool since we would have management in place. We're looking for an engineer one who is going to replace the person who was promoted to the community development director. We're in the hiring stages of the sanitation worker. We're hoping that he can start in the next 2 weeks. We've got a replacement for recreation leader one. That person left for school. Building compliance supervisor, which is a new position. Stormwater grounds maintenance, we're working on a replacement. The person we hired just didn't work out, unfortunately. And HR, it was stated at the last board meeting that both HR and the PIO or the communications manager would be looked upon once we get a new city manager, so we have their direction of what they would like to do. Things that we've hired a senior planner who we actually took from Treasure Island, so she definitely has the Barrier Island skills that we were looking for, so we're very excited to have Catherine here. And we've internally promoted a rec leader too from recreation, so that was amazing. Some projects that I'm working on is obviously the city manager recruitment and still just gathering a list of all projects that the new HR director should probably get done. Some training that is scheduled. We do the sexual harassment for every single employee scheduled in January. We also do cybersecurity monthly to be compliant with the state. And I'm looking at leadership training. I did find a free leadership training with Vector Solutions, but it's pretty limited. So I'm going to research again some of the paid ones, and hopefully it's not going to cost an arm and a leg. And that's it.
I just want to confirm the PIO is Public Information Officer.
There's been talks back and forth between Public Information Officer and Community Communications Manager.
Will that be separate from the city manager and human resources?
Yes,
Okay. And that's been brought up by
by the Board of Commission.
the Board of Commissioners? Okay,
Yes.
good. All right. Okay, cool. Anyone got questions? Dr. Tilka?
Fine, no.
Dr. McLaughlin? Okay, all right, let's move on to appointment of chair. You guys don't mind, I'll go and say, I would love to do it again. I'm totally open to other people if they want to do it as well, but if you guys are okay with it, I would like to nominate myself. I don't know how else you do that.
I'd
was
like to
hoping.
nominate you as well.
I was hoping. If you didn't, I was going to.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Okay. So that, the first is McLaughlin, and the second one, is it Hoff, is that how you pronounce your name, is Hoff?
Hoff. Yeah.
Okay. And that's for Jerry Cantrell to serve another year as chair, and I'll call the roll. Vice Chair McLaughlin,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paul. Yes. Commissioner Tilka,
Yes.
Chair Cantrell.
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your trust in me.
Thank you.
Next is appointment of vice chair. Is there anyone that'd like to volunteer before I nominate somebody myself?
Uh-oh. What are there is there a job description for vice chair? Before I,
Go with the flow.
Yeah, the vice chair, in my absence, takes responsibility for leading the group, and if I resign, you become the chair. That's, yeah,
is there a risk of you resigning?
no, there's not.
Surprise.
Are you nominating yourself?
If, did
I
either
would
of you,
nominate you, yeah.
did you want to continue or?
I would be
Re-up?
delighted to see you as vice chair. That would be good.
Making that
Happy to
motion?
serve as vice chair if,
Make a motion. We choose Mr. Paul.
yeah, the risk is low.
I think
Paul made the first motion.
And I'll second.
Okay. And Commissioner James Paul will now be Vice Chair Paul. The first one was, Tilka, sorry. Commissioner Tilka,
yes.
Commissioner McLaughlin,
Yes.
Commissioner Paul,
Yes.
Commissioner Hoff,
Yes.
Chair Cantrell.
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
No problem.
And congratulations. Congratulations. So we need to establish our 2026 quarterly meeting schedule. There is a calendar in this packet.
I put the commission calendar in there as well as the calendar for 26.
Okay. So let's start with, do you guys want to, this is December, and we're supposed to set 4, is that correct?
Yes.
4? March? March?
Okay, for March the 10th, we have our city election.
Not a good day. What time, let's establish that. What time works best for everybody? Because I know people have careers. So what is the best time?
This time works for me.
4 o'clock? Okay.
Good. So 4 p.m.? Okay, so we'll shoot for 4 p.m. And then would you guys like to choose a specific day of the week, or do you want to just choose what works best based upon calendars right now?
When spring break is at PCSB?
I can find out real quick.
Yeah, that'll help. Spring break.
While you're waiting, the only times that I don't have this room available is the first and last Monday of the month.
Okay.
Is that Board of Commissioners? or-
Planning Commission, and then I have Special Magistrate.
Okay.
Planning Commission's at 6.
CSB, spring break 2026? I can't remember, you don't have a child still in school, do you? No. Oh, that's right, yeah. Yeah. I don't get spring break anymore. No, I left. Florida virtual. It's a- March 16th through the 20th.
Okay.
March 16th through the 20th is the spring break for Pinellas County Schools. So
How
we're
about
going to draw a
the,
line through that, right?
How about the Tuesday after that? 24th?
24th? Like this time? 24th?
24th? Sounds good to me. Let me look at my work. I shouldn't have anything on my calendar. Okay, March. Okay, March 24th, 4 p.m. Any objections? Okay, let's go on to June. June 23rd? June 30th, either one of those?
Either's fine with me.
Which?
Both.
They want
What day did you just say?
June 23rd?
third.
Yes.
Yes? June 23rd?
Checking. Looks good.
4 p.m. So March 24th, June 23rd, both at 4 p.m. If I keep consistent with the fourth week of the month, that would be September 22nd. I know October, I'm going to Europe, so I don't want to do anything in October. And July, I'm going to Europe, so
September 22nd works.
September 22nd?
Works for me.
I don't have my class schedule yet, but if we do it at 4, it should be okay.
Should be okay, okay. And then December is going to be trickier because that's, the 22nd will be winter break for Pinellas County Schools. Is that going to be? Oh, just, how about, you said there were Mondays you could, it was Mondays, right? So we do Tuesday the 1st of December?
I don't see anything on the calendar for the 1st.
Okay. Dr. Tilka?
Fine.
Gentlemen?
Can we speak those days and times out loud so that the city attorney can hear us and so they're good with him?
They are all at 4 p.m. The first date will be March 24th. Second date is June 23rd. Third is September 22nd. And the fourth meeting for the year will be December 1st. Are those okay for you, Mr. Aschenfelder?
Yep, I've been writing down as you've been going. Thank you.
All right.
It's fine with me, but that is the Tuesday, like today after Thanksgiving. So just
Is that
so everybody. I mean, well, it's fine for me. I just wanted to point that out. If anybody's traveling over Thanksgiving, it's
Oh.
the Tuesday after.
Okay.
You get snowed in
Change.
I have students
Oh,
snowed
I
in
see
Chicago.
that. Do y'all want to keep that the same then, or consider that, or later on revisit that date?
It's
or-
probably better to revisit. I'm sure people don't really know their holiday plans a year out.
Yeah.
So we can revisit that by September. We're
Revisit.
fine,
Yes,
correct?
let's do that.
All right. Let's go with that for now.
Okay.
All right. Okay, next item is exit interview for voluntary resignations. Chief, I'm pretty sure this is a form that you created. Would you mind sharing information with us about that?
Sure. This is something we created internally at the fire department, just mostly to receive some feedback on why people were leaving us. There's various reasons. Usually it was related to salaries. We were, at the time, one of the lower paid departments in Pinellas County out of the 18, and right now, we're one of the higher paid departments due to their most recent collective bargaining agreement. And also at a small department, the potential for promotion is much, much smaller than it would be at St. Pete or Clearwater, Tampa, a bigger department. So we have had people that left us for promotional opportunities at other departments. So we just wanted to kind of get feedback on, was there anything that we could improve? You know, we put in there, what did you find most frustrating about your job? And at this point, they're leaving. They could speak openly. We thought the leadership was not sufficient or whatever it may be, but they could provide that information to us, and then we could try to improve ourselves. And I think it's proven its worth, actually, because there, like, a couple of them have left for other higher salaries, and two of them have stated that they would love the opportunity to come back. So, you know, it was a promotional opportunity for one and then salary for another.
Well, you take the job as city manager, could mean someone could come back as chief, right?
I want to go back as chief.
I noticed that there's the Madeira Beach Fire and Rescue, and then there's the City of Madeira Beach. This is a new form, correct? Because what I recall from the one I've seen in the past had check boxes on it.
Mhm.
Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So, does anybody have questions on these before we? Any questions?
No, but I was mentioning to him, in my experience with my practice, most people don't do these exit interviews unless they are leaving on good terms. Generally, the people who you want to get the information from are not the ones who are going to fill out the exit interview. I generally found I had better results with anonymous information that I would ask yearly. I would ask for a yearly just anonymous response form to find out what was the problems currently going on and what could be done preemptively to resolve those problems. But I think this is a good idea. It's just you're going to miss out a lot, because if you listen to social media, the young people are told not to do these.
Ms. Powers, I know there's going to be some relationship with you and the new human resources person. That's going to happen.
Yep.
Would you be able, do we put this on the agenda to revisit that, to where we talk about an annual survey of employees where it provides them the opportunity to be anonymous, but yet we can get feedback?
I don't see why not.
Yeah,
And I think that should fall under the new human resources.
absolutely.
And the reason I do have two City of Madeira Beach exit interviews here, one is directly from the fire department. We just kind of shortened it and made it for the city. And then the one that you see in the packet and on the screen is the one that I should be using, but I'm not, but I should.
Okay. Whichever, and chief, because you're the chief, it's up to you which one you use. But these need to have revisions on them, and they need to have effective dates.
So the one from the fire department, I think, is the one that we should use. I mean, you might have to change a few things because they might be fire related, some of the questions. I actually can probably use it for the entire city, or
Yeah,
number
it looks
4
like
you
it
would
was
have
all-
to change.
Changed.
Change the verbiage to be the city for the city's one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that I would add at Mr. Eschenfelder's advisement was, especially with the fire department, add a line, if you're leaving for another department or city, please let us know which one it is so we can see what counties or cities are stealing our staff.
Can we put that on both of them?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, my recommendation is that we not have two. I think you should have one that covers all employees. And I gave my thoughts and feedback on the one that's in the packet. I think it's a bit long. I don't really like referencing that we're going to identify problems that need to be addressed. I mean, it almost invites negativity. And I think that the best of these that I've seen are more narrative in form. Instead of check boxes, which gives you very little insight, is just ask 4 or 5 questions and let the person in their own narrative way answer. And as a litigator, I have on at least 3 occasions used an employee's exit interview to my benefit when they then went on to sue for discrimination or whatever, because it's like, well, in your exit interview, you said blah, and nowhere in here, was your being a woman have anything to do with it or whatnot. And now all of a sudden you're coming up with that. So, I mean, they have their uses, but I think more work needs to be done. I'd like to work with staff on coming up with the final version, maybe to bring back to you guys to look at.
Okay, what's a realistic date for that?
Well, we can bring it back at the March one, just in case we do have an HR director at that time. We can set it for that, and I can add it.
Yes.
And then that person may also have ideas on that form.
Could we do that?
And then we can, if they're not hired by that time, we can put them on the next one for June, if you want to.
Yes, you guys okay with resuming it on March, the discussion?
Yes.
And then if they do hire an HR representative, are you guys okay if I meet with that person to discuss the things that we have ongoing, to just get them going up to speed of, these are things I know that we need to cover?
Him or her.
Him or her, thank you, sir. Got to be realistic, sorry about that.
Okay. So we'll tentatively put it on there for March.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, new job description format by Gearing Group. That's the next item. If you notice inside of the packet, there's the chief's job description. And then there's also one that has a markup.
Yeah.
I'd like to clarify, because my understanding is Gearing Group is returning this, saying this is what they're recommending. Is that correct?
So they didn't really recommend a format for the job descriptions. It's just the verbiage for the job descriptions. So what I would like to show you is something that's on our website. Basically what we do is we take the verbiage and we'll copy and paste it and put it into Paycom, and this is what it spits out, and it will all be formatted in uniform
Correct.
and ADA compliant.
Okay. What is Gearing Group using to come up with a standard format? Is it things that we currently have, or are they doing a cross-reference against other items? I mean, because if we're just paying them $5,000 to take our stuff, and then, I'm really concerned about that. If they're
Sure.
just taking our stuff and putting a rubber stamp on it, they didn't do anything to help us rewrite these. They didn't.
They did. So the survey that went out that we sent twice, they used that to help people. I understand that there was some miscommunication and we thought that they were going to come here and speak with individual people, but they did use the information that they got from staff to do those job descriptions. Now, those job descriptions aren't set in stone. We can certainly take a look at them and add extra items that maybe people forgot to add in there or weren't thinking about it.
Yeah, 'cause
But the actual format, I don't believe that they were supposed to be giving us a format, just the descriptions, if you will.
yeah, they would come up with a general. It's like in my department, I have an employee, a new employee that there is none for, that they had, and he didn't take the survey. And then, of course, I'm making some adjustments on my executive assistant and on mine where there was some stuff missed or whatever, but like Megan said, it's not set in stone. We still have to look at it and adjust it. They were given a general idea of comparisons.
Yeah. I had a question, if I may. As someone who has hired a lot of people in my time, do these need to be so verbose? I mean, I have never in all my years of hiring and firing people ever seen a 3-page to 4-page job description.
Not
in
all
my
of
life.
them are this long. Usually
Fire
the
chiefs is probably
yeah,
longer
the
than-
department
Pretty long.
directors, your fire
Yeah.
chief, your city managers are gonna have more because of the credentials that are needed and the specifics that we're looking
But I'm
for.
just
I
saying,
think mine
I
is
could
4.
hire a neurosurgeon and it would be 1 page. So I don't know why it's gotta be 3-4 pages. I'm just curious, is that a government thing or?
To be honest, I don't know. This was at the discretion of the department heads and it's
I
approved
mean,
by
is
the
this
city
like a
manager.
chat
That's all.
GPT type thing that just pumps this out? But anyway, that's just my experience. I have never had a job description more than 1 page because people, they lose interest. I mean, that's why I always tell people 1 page on your resume, unless you're someone like me where your resume might be, is long. But the thing is, I'm just saying, does it need to be that long? That's just a question.
It all depends on the position,
Yeah.
I think.
I
I
think
can
the
say
only
too, so
requirement.
it was probably 2020 and it was budget season and we were going for raises and it was brought to department heads where we almost had to justify our job. So that's probably why they're so robust right now. And then when anything would be added, we wouldn't remove anything, we would just add more to it,
Right.
and that's where they were coming up with the employee raises. I think it was 2020.
And sometimes
Well,
it is to take.
I think that as the employment lawyer in the group, well, the one that's not sitting up on the dais, this is fairly standard government fare, and I think you need to put yourself in the mindset of government employees whose position oftentimes is, I will do exactly what I'm told to do in my job description and no more. I do not think for myself, that kind of thing. And the other important thing is in litigation, especially Americans with Disabilities Act litigation, if you don't, put in there, what are the essential functions of the job and really highlight those things and the physical and mental requirements, then the judge is going to say, well, geez, Mr. Oceanfelder, you're telling me that this is such an important thing that this person couldn't do it, so you had to let them go. Why am I not reading it in the job description? So, unfortunately, for a lot of those reasons, you get a lot of bloat. As a matter of fact, in reviewing the agenda, I made some recommendations to staff that these descriptions, or at least the example that was in the packet, really needs to be revised to call out the essential functions of the job versus other functions that aren't necessarily essential, because thought has to be given to that. And frankly, I thought that Gehring Group would help with that. Normally, these consultant types, they do that, try to help you drill down to what is the essential function. But if they're out of here and they've been paid, then I guess it's going to have to fall to staff over time. But anyway, in terms of the length, it's unfortunate, but it's necessary.
I understand it. That was my question. It's a government-related thing.
Correct. In
Okay.
October, for the city clerks, we had about an all-day employment law class that we have to take each year. And our instructor said that the job descriptions must be kept up current at all times. If something is removed from that employee and it's transferred to somebody else, it has to show that. If something's added, it has to show that. But at all times, the job descriptions must be kept up to date.
No, I understand it's rules, but that answers my question.
Okay.
I did have a question about the salary ranges that are put on there very
Not accurate.
specifically. Well, so that, I want to be careful about that. I'm not even sure, in some states, they require that. Florida does not, I don't think, for government workers. But I'd be careful about that. I don't know if we need to include that. The problem is that we're locked in then, and one, it needs to be accurate, and two, people are going to see the range and either want the highest, or
Sure.
we do have exceptions outside of the range, and that creates problems for other job titles, so.
We do. And on the website, it's up to date because I have the pay grades that'll go in there and automatically just update. But every time we update a job description, that's when I'll go in and put the real salary
Got
in
it.
there.
So it'll be current as of when it's actually
That's correct.
posted or
You know,
generated or used.
The flip side of not putting your pay range is that city staff ends up spending an awful lot of time parsing through applications where people are expecting that they could get more money than is on the table.
I'll tell you,
So-
I'm one of those people. I'll probably sift past it if there's a salary not there. You want to make sure it's worth your time.
Right?
And these salaries, I assume, are just generic salaries based on what the common pay range is for these jobs.
Yeah, so we did a compensation study with some of the different counties and cities in the area, so we're definitely competitive in our pay grades. And then we have different pay grades that break down with each position.
Thank you.
And I did also recommend to staff, once I reviewed this, that we need to make sure that we put the FLSA category, whether each position is exempt or not for FLSA, because thought needs to be put into that as well, and that needs to be very clear.
That's on my to-do list.
Any other comments or questions?
So as a matter of procedure, do we use these during the hiring and interview process? So is it discussed, do they sign off or initial, the actual job duties? It's probably not consistent, I'm guessing. But.
No, I don't think so. What I intend to do is I have the job description on the website. They apply for that direct job. What I'm starting to do is print out that job description and put it in their personnel file, so you know what the job description was when they were hired. And of course, if that changes, we can put another one in there.
Right.
But that's kind of how I'm tracking
Yeah,
it.
so again, that's yet to be determined potentially, but as a best practice, I'm finding that always helpful during the interview application process to get them to commit so that 2 weeks in, they're like, oh, I didn't realize that was part of the job, or I didn't want to do that, or I can't do that. So if that can be incorporated, if we're going to go through the effort, right, and these are nice and
And that can
pretty.
be added in the offer letter, that you
Right.
have an understanding of the job description.
Well, I think before that, I haven't seen what the city's application form looks like, but that's typically where I suggest you put language that says something to the effect of, by applying for this position, I certify that I have reviewed the job description and the obligations and qualifications and so forth, and that I can perform them with or without accommodation. And then when they click accept and file the application, then that's what you hold against them. And our new personnel policy that you all helped us adopt earlier in the year also says that by accepting employment, you agree that you understand and will abide by the job description. So I
That's a
wouldn't get
good-
them to sign off on it. I just think put it in the application.
And that's a good point. I haven't done a test one for online, so I'll do a test and see how it goes, what people see.
So can we recap what we're discussing here? Because I'm confused on which pieces. It sounds like the salary will stay in because it's based on the website.
Yes.
You intend to print stuff out, put it inside an employee file. The application would reference that they've reviewed that document in some form,
Yes,
correct?
and the job description will also have the FSLA status on there.
Okay. Did I miss anything? Then how do we know this, and I'm going to constantly come back to this, how will we know that when you print that out, that it's the latest version? Will it have some reference when you print it from that shows what
Typically on the
date?
bottom, it'll say what iteration it is, what date it was revised on.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Any other questions, folks? Let's move on to old business. Old business is the back sheet.
Sorry, you were supposed to, with F, the updated agenda online, it's the one that you had added, salary recommendation, Board of Commissioners.
Yeah.
Even though the civil service does classified, recommendations, but we added that.
Okay. Oh, the back page of the progress report. I'm sorry.
It was added as under new business, letter F. It's online packet. You were
Online
supposed to
packet.
have
Okay, got it,
gotten
got
an
it.
updated agenda.
Okay. All right. Let me bring up the online packet.
It's just the title itself, salary recommendation, Board of Commissioners.
In the last meeting, so everybody's aware in the group, I brought up that I had been looking online comparing Madeira Beach. And I gotta say, I know that it is not our place to tell the Board of Commissioner what their salary should be. That's their choice.
Right.
I believe it was Mr. Eschenfelder that said that it's a political and a business decision. It's not really up to us. However, when we did this Gearing Group request, it was requested that we do all paid positions, and that was not included for the Board of Commissioners. That didn't get included. So we did not get any feedback on what should that salary range be for this type of community. Now, this type of community, we all know, has about 4,000 people. I can't tell you how long or wide the island is. I know it's something like 3 by 1 or something like that. I'm not certain.
Yes.
2 miles long, 1 mile wide. There we go. Okay. We have 4,000 residences, but we're currently in a state of flux because of the hurricanes, and I know not everybody's back, but the homes are still owned. There's still businesses that are operating. Internally, there's information that we have that shows that we get somewheres in excess of 1 million visitors a year. I've gone online and I've looked at state records and county records as well as stuff that Madeira Beach has, and it shows us about 4.2 million visitors a year, with the majority of them going to Johns Pass. Over I think it's 1.5 or 1.7 million. Can I share these? Am I allowed-
Mr. Chair, I want to, if I could interject at this point.
Please guide me.
Yeah, I'm concerned for you individually to comply with ethics. You are married to a sitting commissioner, and it's really not appropriate for you to in any way being engaged in anything that may bring special private gain or loss to yourself, a spouse, or a child. So in that respect, I'm not really sure that it's appropriate to be, overseeing the discussion. But on a broader standpoint, I re-reviewed the charter. The charter says that the commission sets its salaries by ordinance and says nothing more. Section 5.7 of the charter, which sets out your Civil Service Commission duties, it makes it very clear that you discuss the salaries of all classified city positions. City commissioners are not classified city positions, they're political offices. And so the charter, the forefathers chose to compensate the city commissioners for their service on the commission, but it's not really employment in the way that we should think of it. So my advice to the Civil Service Commission is to stay out of this topic. Each of you as citizens are more than welcome to go to the commission meeting and take your 3 minutes on citizen comment and say, guys, I think you're being paid too less. Here's why. Please direct the city attorney to do an ordinance to put it before the voters to increase your salary. But as a body, I believe it's outside of your jurisdiction to be opining on this topic.
Thank you. Because I even mentioned in the last one, I felt it was a conflict of interest, but I wanted to bring it up. So thank you for doing that. Okay. I will leave it be.
I would like to bring up one point you brought up, Jerry, about how large the city is. Exactly 1 square mile of landmass.
Oh.
So,
Interesting. 1 square mile landmass and
4,000.
2025 budget?
3.3 with including the water. 3.3 square miles and then 1 square mile of land mass.
yeah,
3.3 including the water.
yep. Which you have.
2/3 water, 1/3 land.
It's continent. There we go.
And how many employees did you say the city has?
91, I believe,
Okay,
including the commissioners.
got it.
It's, let's see,
Correct.
2025, the budget was $46 million. Budget for 2025 was $46 million. That's what's online through a Clarion. And there's 4,000 residents and about 4.2 million visitors a year. So I'll bring it as a citizen. I'll bring it up there. I'll do that and I'll leave it alone. Even in that, Mr. Eschenfolder, I should also probably state there that it's probably a conflict of interest, shouldn't I?
No, sir, because in that setting, you are speaking as a citizen and you are not in any way utilizing the authority of your office. So you're just showing up as citizen of Madeira Beach who's concerned. I've got data. Here's my data that I'm sharing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Folks, there were other items on old business, and I'm trying to find the online stuff.
Are you able to pull up what's online on the screen so we can all see it?
Tom can.
I don't see F.
It's in the October packet for October. One was the pay grades, which we just went over, and the HR director position was covered in the HR report. And the other one was the legal advice for employees moving to exempt status, and if Eschenfelder wants to go over that, he can.
Is it possible to bring those up then, for what was on the October packet? Because I didn't,
There's 3 items under old business.
uh-huh,
One was the HR director position, which was covered tonight by Megan, the HR coordinator. And the pay grades, y'all just went over that in the salaries and everything.
yep.
And the third one is legal advice for employees moving to exempt status. The city manager and the city attorney can go over that with y'all if you want to, but the other 2 were covered.
Chief, would you like to?
Sure.
On that?
So what sparked this discussion was just prior to FY '26 budget approval, believe the Garing Group made recommendations to move employees to exempt versus non-exempt or vice versa, going to salaried where they no longer are able to, or they're exempt from overtime. And FLSA, the Fair Labor Standards Act, it has bullet points that you have to hit, and it's not just one or two of them, it's all of them. And most of those employees did not meet that. So I took it upon myself, I brought it to the commission, and they agreed, and we ended up moving 3 of the 12, 3 of the 11 over to exempt status. Their department head, or marina manager, parking supervisor, who was the last one?
Fire marshal.
And the fire marshal. And the others that we left in non-exempt, we figured that we have a whole fiscal year to make sure we get it right. You know, we can take our time, we can review it. And part of that was because with the previous city managers, you know, stepping away and then me getting into this, I wanted to make sure that we were doing everything right. I ran it by Attorney Eschenfelder. He agreed that this is probably the safest route to take with these 3. And then we can review the others. And if I'm wrong, then I was wrong. But it saves the city from possible litigation and everything else associated with it.
Well, there's never harm leaving somebody as non-exempt, from a legal perspective.
Absolutely.
Was there any recommendation to move people the other way from
No.
exempt to non-exempt? Because
No.
that's the more dangerous one.
Was there a reason that you were doing the change? Was there a financial benefit for these individuals?
I'm not sure why the recommendations were made. I was just reviewing the budget in the 23rd hour and trying to present to the commission a clean legal budget for them to approve.
Okay. Thank you.
And if you go back, I believe it's the end of September, a special meeting for the budget approval, it'll have in the agenda everything from myself and Attorney Eschenfelder outlining why we're going to make this recommendation,
It's in here too.
exempt versus non-exempt.
Cool. Mr. Eschenfelder, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, sir.
Right. Any questions from anyone?
No.
All right, let's go on to the progress report. Ms. Van Bargen, I think you prepared that, is that correct?
I did. You,
It's actually very well done. Thank you for doing that.
thank you.
Yeah.
You
Would
all had
you like to,
asked-
would you like to talk the way through it?
I can do that. Hold on, let me get into it. Because I had the October Civil Service Commission meeting up, and that material information that the city manager just reviewed is also in that civil service packet for October. So let me go into this packet for December. And that will be 8A. Okay, the Civil Service Commission 2025 Progress Report. Of course, the one you'll get in March will cover through December and up to be updated for that. Okay, we have for future items to be scheduled for discussion, we have the employee satisfaction surveys, the offer letter, the employee appeal form, and Madeira Beach Safety Manual. And I put a little bit of description for each one of those. Like for employee satisfaction surveys, when I looked it up, it is a structured questionnaire to measure how content and fulfilled employees feel at work regarding aspects of their role, compensation, work environment, and management. For the offer letter, it's an official document from an employer to a candidate that extends a job offer and includes key details like job title, start date, salary, reporting, manager and supervisor, brief description of duties and responsibilities and employment status, full-time, part-time, or temporary, and that's exactly how it's laid out. And the employee appeal form, I forgot to put one there, but Madeira Beach Safety Manual. There's a document that outlines company policies, procedures, instructions to prevent injuries and ensure a safe working environment. It serves as a single source of truth for safety information covering topics like hazard communication, emergency procedures, and required personal protective equipment, PPE. Creating and following one helps companies comply with regulations, educate employees, and foster a culture of safety. And they also have one for each department. And then in the new 2025 Madeira Beach Personnel Policy, in page X1X-1, it says the city manager is authorized to develop and publish a Madeira Beach Safety Manual to provide safety policies and procedures to be used by all departments for the safety of city employees, protection of city property. That's like an overall one, and the department ones. Then the Civil Service Commission continued duties, like for your quarterly meetings, outside of your HR reports and other things that you add. City Charter Section 5.7 Personnel Systems. It says continuing monitoring the personnel policy implementation process to make sure that all rules, regulations, and procedures of the employee personnel policy are working and are followed by everyone. Ensure compliance and recommend changes as needed. So that's just a work in progress. The HR person will let you know how everything is working, if there's any difficulties, and if anything needs to be changed. Then the progress report for 12/2/2025 was the exit interview for voluntary resignations, in which the HR coordinator went over today. And she also covered the new job descriptions format. And then the completed items for the year that the city attorney and the HR coordinator and the city manager worked very hard on it, along with the Civil Service Commission. The new employee personnel handbook was adopted, and that was adopted 4/2/2025. They all did a great job on that. They also made it possible for the Civil Service Commission rules. They were updated. That was updated and adopted on 4/2/2025. And then there's one for the new ones and for the acting city manager that the city attorney can go over today, explain the special magistrate ordinance regarding grievance hearings that he worked real hard on and did a very good job on that, and it got adopted on 4/2/2025. And then the department policies that were reviewed, and then the Civil Service Commission gave recommendations, different things to update to make them standard. And then, Chair, if you would like the city attorney to go over that new ordinance about the special magistrate regarding grievance hearings, and he can explain that, because we do have a new commissioner on the board, which is Commissioner Hall.
All right, yes. You talked about department policies already too, right? On that?
You did, y'all
So
covered that
We
in
did
June.
cover it, but it's not complete, because there's some formatting structure problems
Yes.
with when you look at one to the other.
Yes.
Would you guys all agree that that should be moved up to item F on future items to be
Correct.
scheduled for discussion, or?
Correct. We just,
It's not done.
that's just part of the progress, and I will add that up there.
Yeah.
The problem was that was being done, and we lost our city manager, which we have an acting city manager now. So that will be something that will take place.
Can you at least put word ongoing next
Yes,
to
sir.
that? A
I
word
will
like
do that.
ongoing or something, because it's not, I don't want them to feel, I don't want to communicate this as completed, because it's not completed.
Correct.
We did address it. We have done that, but it's not.
We will move that up. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is everybody else okay with that?
Yeah, but it technically falls in the same category as the personnel I mean, it's an ongoing
Yeah.
oversight, right? And
Yep.
we were waiting to see what the next iteration was.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we'll be soon have a new city manager on board and everything, and that'd be one of the things that's just gonna fall in their lap.
Okay. And then Attorney Eschenfelder, would you, as Ms. Van Blargen recommended, would you fill us in on ordinance 2025-03, the special magistrate ordinance regarding grievance hearings?
Well, you all saw it, but the long and the short of it is that for post-termination hearings, the code provides that the city commission will contract with one or more qualified attorneys to be able to serve as a magistrate. And if an employee gets terminated and invokes the opportunity to appeal that, then the magistrate or the hearing officer will oversee the case, and it'll be a quasi judicial type of a hearing, and the code allows the magistrate to issue oaths and to summon witnesses, and then they will enter a recommended order, and then that order either becomes final after 10 days, or if the employee doesn't like the order, then the employee can appeal to the Civil Service Board, and the Civil Service Board then will review the order and doesn't have the authority to change the findings of fact, but has the authority to recommend changing the conclusions of law. And then that order goes to the city manager to take final action. That's basically what it is. And I would just ask the clerk, if he hasn't already, if you could just provide copies of all of the civil service code to the new commissioner, that would be good.
I would do that.
Yeah, starts at section 2-126 of the code.
All right, any other comments? Okay, nope, that's the end of our list. I do have one thing I'd like to ask everybody, and it's basically item E on that page 28 of the packet, which is item 8A, the Civil Service Commission's continued duties. We need to find out, will we have some type of process? We need to discuss, are we going to have some type of process of reviewing and assuring the policy is being followed? And what is that going to look like? All right. I think it should involve the city manager personally, because if we do anything outside the city manager, we can really make that person's job difficult. So, but that's my opinion. If everybody in March could come with ideas, so that way we could discuss that, and can we have that added to the agenda specifically to discuss it? Civil Service Commission continued duties.
You want that added to the March one for talk about the format of
What is it?
how you're going to keep it current when they bring it to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The HR and city manager will bring those concerns that they'll go over it, whether it's good or bad or going great.
Yep.
You want to report on that?
Want to know how we'd like to handle it as well.
Would you like that also included in the quarterly HR report?
I don't know, folks. Would you like that in the quarterly?
The more information, the better.
Okay.
And is it possible, I don't mean is there these rules, regulations, and procedures, do you have them in written form so we could review them, those of us who want to?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So for the HR report, you're looking for me to look at the past agenda and comment on the progress where we're at?
That's not clear yet.
Okay.
Okay. I
I'm
would
just
like
asking if
us
that's what you're looking
to
for.
address
Okay.
how do we want to assure?
Okay.
Because there's things inside of this document. I think it's 2025-01, that ordinance that says these are things the Civil Service Commission is going to do. It's either that or 02. I don't remember. I have to
In the
read
city
them to
charter.
verify it.
Yeah.
But we need to have a method of assuring that the policies and procedures are being followed, and if they're not, how are we reviewing that to update them and make sure that we don't let things go for as long as it took to get it to where it's at
Understandable.
now. So that's, right now, we need ideas amongst each other, that it may involve HR. I don't know. Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure I didn't have to change the
It will.
report for March. That was all.
Right now, continue what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And probably if something happens and it's pressing, imagine they would ask for a meeting for that.
Yeah. Yep. I think by the rules, if there's something going on, we're supposed to be, we have to meet up within a specified amount of time.
Other than that, it'd be basic report, how well everything's going, any problems that they're having. Same way, new positions, lost positions, and things like that.
Yep. Any questions, anybody?
I did just want to, since, Mr. Chair, that we were talking about the appeal procedure and the prior city manager is gone. I just wanted to put it out there to the acting manager. I don't know if the city has taken any steps to actually recruit at least one hearing officer. But, you know, in theory, now that the new policy is in place and this ordinance, this code is in place, an employee could invoke the rights under them. And if the city has a process that requires a hearing officer and we have no hearing officer under contract, that could be a problem. So if
Do
we
you recall
haven't
us ever
followed up on that.
having one?
It was my understanding that we were going to use the same special magistrate that we do for code cases, Bart Valdez.
Does that sound familiar? Attorney Oceanfelder?
No.
No.
I think that Trask would bring a
Are we-
contract for
Are we
that.
legal to do that though? We use,
Well, you are. I mean, typically in these things, you want to recruit someone with employment law background. I don't know if Mr. Valdez has that background or not. I
I'll look
don't-
into that or ask Mr. Trask if he has any recommendations.
did you just volunteer, Attorney Oceanfelder?
Well, no, I'm your lawyer. It has to be a neutral lawyer, but you know, there's plenty of lawyers in Tampa
Sure.
and St. Pete
He's
that,
the one that brings those grievance to us.
Yeah,
to the board.
absolutely. Yeah, we'll definitely look into that.
all right.
I wouldn't, just the same reason, conflict, to the, because it potentially can come to us, and so.
Okay. So Ms. Powers, anything you'd like to add or ask before we adjourn?
Not that I can think
thought
of.
Might be because we have a new commissioner, and he doesn't really know too much about everybody. They're his fellow members, and the same way, vice versa. Thought maybe we can close out maybe tell them a little bit about each other and our background and what we brought to the table.
Okay. All right. Dr. Tilk, anything you want to, I think we should do that too. Dr. Tilk, anything you want to cover?
Yes, my name is Paul Tilka. I actually grew up here in Madeira Beach. My family moved here in 1949. And what else? I'm retired. I've been retired since 2004. And I enjoy participating in some of this city work, I guess. Other than that, I don't know. My wife is a AKC dog show judge, so we've got a house full of dogs. Standard poodles, but whatever. I still enjoy boating and beach. I'm one block off the beach, so I do frequent the beach. And I think we've come a long ways, that's all. So, thank you.
Dr. McLaughlin?
Hi, I'm Judith Ann McLaughlin, and I have lived in Madeira Beach more than 20 years. I am a professor at University of South Florida, and yeah, I'm also obsessed with the beach. That's why we moved here. We moved to, well, actually, we spent the first 2 years in Florida in Treasure Island, and then when we bought a home, we bought it here in Madeira. And I also love the beach. I could go on for a long time, but yeah, I've been in government and politics for decades, and it's an honor to serve my city in this way, and I'm looking forward to working with you.
Mr. Paul?
James Paul, I go by Jim. I'm a labor and employment attorney. I work full-time or more than full-time, more than I want to. I'm eyeing or hoping to transition to retirement or semi-retirement at some point. I've been in Madeira Beach exactly 5 years. My wife and I moved down here after our kids went to college. I have a son in Boston currently in college and a daughter in California in grad school. So we got all coasts and all corners of the U.S. covered, but we love Madeira Beach and been exactly here 5 years and have had 4 major storms or hurricanes. I've been assured that those lifelong residents that this isn't normal, but all we've seen is everything in the last 4 or 5 years. So we're not sure what normal is, but we love it here.
Well, again, my name is Scott, last name Hoff. I grew up in Sarasota. I went to University of South Florida for 12 years. I went there for undergrad, medical school, and for residency. I finished residency in 1996. I've always lived in Florida. I was living in the Panhandle for about 23 years where I had my practice and business. And then I retired here because my sister lives 10 houses from where I live. I built a house on Normandy and she's on the next road. So, I've been around Florida a lot, but this is mainly where I've been for most of my life. I consider Tampa, the Tampa area, home. And I'm here to help. So nice to meet you all.
Okay, can I introduce myself?
Welcome.
Yes. I'm Jerry Cantrell. I think I've been on the beach for 11 years now. I think it's 11. I'm originally from Michigan. I was in the military for quite a while. I've been all over the place. Just fortunate that life has brought me to Florida and I ended up here. Personal side, I have 2 sons, 33 and 31, and the oldest one is talking about making me a granddad, and I'm looking forward to it. So I can't wait to spoil a kid. But that's it. I mean, it's wonderful being here, and this is a great city. We're so fortunate that we live among the people that we live among. All right, so let me continue this so we can wrap it up and close it. This is like one of the quickest meetings we've had. Ms. Van Blargen, is there anything you'd like to add before we close?
Sorry. I do not, just reminding you, our March meeting coming up. And like I said, we'll add about the department policies back on there. And see if that's updated yet. And then also update on, hopefully we have a new city manager in place at that time. And then, what was that other item we was bringing back? Which, I have all my notes. We'll have everything on there that you asked for.
Thank you. Dr. Tilka, is there anything you'd like to add or suggest? Dr. McLaughlin? Mr.
Nope.
Paul?
Can't wait for 2026.
Dr. Hoff?
Be March the 24th, 4 o'clock.
24, Chief?
No, I'm good.
All right, Mr. Eschenfelder?
No, sir.
All right, it is 5:03 and we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas to
Happy
everyone.
holidays.
Here, here.